I wake up and I wonder what the hell I'm gonna read today. A shooting or some looting, people rooting either side away. Maybe a murder that I heard of, they try to justify the dread. Makes me wanna turn around, drag myself right back in bed.
This content is for informational purposes only. You should not construe any such information or other material as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing contained on here constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer by Draper Goren Holm or any third-party service provider to buy or sell any securities or other financial instruments whatsoever.
Hey everyone, it is me. We are here. Joseph is here too. Say hi, Joseph.
Hey, what's up?
Boom, boom, boom. We're recording.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
I am recording this on the computer now.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone. Hey, everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Boom. All right. It says it's recording. Boom, 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 boom. I am apparently recording.
The entire bottle of control. They're all exactly the same.
Crypto art, and then what it really is an NFT.
Wow.
Eddie wants to slap the bag.
So this is the next best thing.
DeFi is going to be a bubble.
It's provably scarce.
With Mad Dog.
Crypto, gold, and silver.
Transparent substance.
Take my money, start a war with it.
Without further ado,
Cheers to you, brother.
get shit done.
Because the system has to collapse before that.
My Corona.
Cheers. I feel much better now.
Cheers.
Wow, that was heavy.
Boom.
Boom! I was gonna say it if he wasn't gonna say it this time.
Yeah.
I gotta say it on that one.
Welcome to Blockchain and Booze number 99. We are 99 weeks straight in the Blockchain and Booze. And as Adele just said in the chat, I want to watch it like it's 99. I should have said 1999, but I guess that's not really it. For everyone who is watching on all of the streams and all that stuff, I was just reminded by watching that intro that I forgot to change Lunar Crush's logo. But if you're watching it on Lunar Crush live on Twitter or anywhere else on YouTube and all the rest of the spots, you can go to meet.blockchainbooze.io right now and you can hang with folks in the chat. And when we're done, you'll be able to jump at tables, talk to them if you want, and ask questions in the QA to these fine gentlemen who are joining me today. And I'm stoked today because, one more quick thing is we also are on Blockchain Radio every week and replayed on there too. So thank you so much to Blockchain Radio and Lunar Crush for amplifying this and spreading the love and the word. I am stoked today because we've got a good old friend, OG of the space, CryptoStache. Shay is here with us today, but we've got two new friends to Blockchain Booze as well, which is awesome that we're 99 weeks in and there's still new people in the crypto space. It's actually insane. In the 2 years, yes, John, there is a link that you can stream this. You can watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on Lunar Crush. You can watch it on Twitter and everywhere else. So, but two years has passed. So this is a little plug for Lunar Crush for those who haven't looked at the data that you can grab from there. From 2 years ago till today. The last time I looked, so it's even more now, I'm sure, we're like 33x the number of participants talking about crypto on the internet. So 33x was the last time I checked for the 2 year point, which is freaking insane. So when we started this, when quarantine started, because we're essentially 2 years in now, there were 30 times less people discussing crypto on the internet than today. So just think of how much we've matured and how crazy everything is right now. So, but first and foremost, I want to introduce Kris and Paggy. You guys are both in the Tezos sphere, but doing very different projects. Why don't we really quickly, we should let Stash start first, since you're the returning guest. Tell everyone what you're working on, because I think we'll end up diving into Dogamy and to the Atez projects a little bit too. But Shay, give us the quick background.
Quick background. I'm Stash. Friends call me Stash. Some people just want to call me CryptoStache. That's fine, but Stash to most people out there. I've been talking about and educating people about NFTs since 2017. That's when I first got involved and really saw the potential there. Just after I turned down a free CryptoPunk, and they were like, "Oh," I was like, "Hey, you know what happens?" I mean, when you look at the art, man, the art sucks. And at that time, it wasn't like super. The NFTs weren't a thing. There was no, standard at that time. No one was really talking about NFTs. But when CryptoKitties came out and I saw you could do a gamification with them, there was a lot more to it. It's like, this is awesome. And so really kind of dove into it. And I've been talking about it ever since. I was the first YouTuber to create his own NFT. No one had done it before me. There was literally only projects had created NFTs before I did a single one. And we dropped it in conjunction with Engine to about 5,000 people for free. So I've been doing NFT coverage and focusing even more lightning focused on the gaming and NFT side of things. And so that's kind of what I focus on these days on my YouTube channel. We're approaching 100,000 subs there. So really appreciate everyone's support. And, it's a small niche, but I love the intersection of gaming and NFTs and where that fits in. And so I do live streams every single day talking about NFTs and also about gaming, and a video pretty much every day. So you can come and check it on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, jump in my Discord of Stashers and all that jazz. And I got a couple of things that I've been working on. So I have this NFT live stream game that is kind of an interesting take. And essentially it's you can use NFTs to get me to do different things while I'm live on my Thursday stream, which is called Secret Agent Stash. And so
that's cool.
Yeah, you redeem the NFTs, and it's like it's a gaming show. So it's like this NFT they redeemed, lose on purpose. So then I got to go lose on purpose, and hey, that's what we're gonna do, or change into a different disguise. So I wear disguises on this kind of fun show, and it's a whole like game show type of thing. Yeah, there he is, Secret Stash.
I was looking for the
that's awesome.
for the I knew I had the file on my computer from the Boring Stone cover. So
yeah,
super rare Boring Stone cover as well. But
true.
There you go, Secret Agent Stash.
Yeah, so that's one of the characters. That's one of the characters that I play, and so the card game, the NFT card game, goes with that. So we've been doing some revamping on that actually here recently with the UI, but that's going to be back in action. But what I'm excited about is I'm actually working on a sandbox game for the last month and a half or almost 2 months now, and of the same kind of theme. So you're going to be Secret Agent Stash's world. You're going to jump into this sandbox game, and you have to go on a mission with Secret Agent Stash and recover this stolen goods. I don't want to give too much away. But, hopefully will be a play to earn too, where you finish the mission, you get an NFT at the end. So that'll be a lot of fun. And it's going to be on my large 3x3 estate right next to Atari.
Very nice.
Yeah. So a lot of cool things going on. And just,
we're going to have to do. Yeah, we're going to have to do a sandbox specific session. I'm feeling some major FOMO because I have a Mac and I don't have a PC anymore and I can't play around on Sandbox. So
yeah,
I've been doing stuff in Decentraland.
I think I saw Sebastian post something on Twitter the other day where he kind of teased the Sandbox running on a Mac.
Yeah, it's
with coming soon. So I think,
so
your solution's
coming. Kris, I know you were talking about Sandbox the other day too, and I'm not going to say anything about that other than we talked about Sandbox, and maybe we could do a session, Kris, or maybe you, Shay. We should do a session where since I can't really fully look around the Sandbox yet, since I'm on a Mac. Adele's saying you do a virtual machine. I thought about doing that too, but I figured that's a little that's like cheating. But anyway, what I wanted to do at least is buy a plot of land or something. But I got to.
Well, you can do that without. You can do that with the Mac.
He's doing a virtual machine too. we're gonna have to figure it out. All right, I need to buy some land in San.
You can still get the land. You can get the land, and then once they launch, because I know it's a priority for
but I
them
want
to
to
get
like
the
experience
Apple
it
side.
and see where it is, like what it's next to and stuff.
We'll do it fast. Just go grab a PC, you lazy bastard. Go get a PC and just hook it on up. And come on, man. You know, like
Well, you know, between my phone, my iPad, my laptop, my kid's laptop, it's just there's no room for another computer.
you got plenty of room, man. Go get a PC, and then that way you can join me in the season 2, the alpha season 2 that's coming here in just a couple weeks, man. They're doing the next iteration where everyone's gonna be able to jump in, play the experiences. I'm an ambassador, so I'm always there hanging out, helping people with issues, streaming it live. So if you can't get one by then, you can at least watch my live stream.
All right, this is what we're doing. I'm gonna buy some land. I'm telling the folks in the chat because so many of you are in there. I know BB Studios. I think you guys are into the land too. We're gonna do either during the Blockchain Booze after party time or just some random live stream, or maybe for Blockchain Booze. Hit me up and we'll like live buy me some land. It'll be pretty fun. Because I've been meaning to. I just sold something also, so that ETH is just burning a hole in my wallet. It's time to buy something fun. Let's jump into Tezos for a minute. I'm a huge fan. Just like Stash was a first YouTuber to make NFTs, I was the first person ever to mint a music video NFT on Tezos. It's really bad, actually, and I kind of feel bad I got to steal that drop. But
I remember that.
Let's go, Kris. Kris, I want you to. Dogamy is a huge sort of deal right now. Everybody on Tezos is talking about it, but I think it's a much bigger implication outside of Tezos. Also, you're building play to earn game and everything. Tell us about Dogamy. Give us your background, and let's. Sorry, I'm looking at some of the questions, but tell us about Dogamy, and then we're gonna be talking about Tezos a little bit, and we're gonna hear about Atez also from Paggy.
Sounds good. So I'm not from a crypto background. I don't have CryptoStache's background from 2017 in the space, but I started off in the film industry. I worked for 10 years in independent filmmaking, and it kind of gave me that opportunity to want to build narratives in brands and kind of grow the different products that I'm working with. And post working for the film industry, I worked for a luxury group in which they basically would purchase startups in the luxury space, and they basically needed to write the brand stories. Audi. And basically from that, I met not too long ago this VC called Page One Ventures. And they were seed investors in Dapper Labs, and they started talking to me about NFTs, and they started talking to me about play to earn. And it was a space that I saw huge potential in, because it's the first time that you could actually take part in the story. If you have an NFT and you're in the play to earn, you can imagine that you build a universe in which you're an integral part of whatever is being built. And soon after that, I met the other 3 co-founders of Dogamy. So Bilal El Lami, which has been working on the Tezos blockchain for a few years. He has 2 businesses, Pirates Labs and EquiSafe, that deal with financial transactions on the Tezos blockchain. Adrian Magdalene, who basically had one of the biggest pet media companies in the world called Whammies. It's kind of the Google for cats and dogs. He sold that to Purina, which is a Nestle-owned company, a few years ago. So he had that pet industry knowledge. And Max, which is ancient BCG, he brought that financial and, let's say, executive hat on to be able to run the business. And they had this idea of, what if we combine blockchain technology with the pet industry? There's probably something to build there. And as discussions went on, we're like, well, there's so much more that we can bring. We can bring some brand narrative. We can, start building a world around this, and with the gamification, give everybody the opportunity to write their own story in a whole new and original universe. And that's kind of where Dogami was born. So essentially, Dogami is a NFT game in which you purchase a Dogami, which is represented like a puppy, and you raise him kind of like a Tamagotchi to an adult life. And once you get to an adult, you have breeding capacities and things like that. So it's really a mix between Tamagotchi and Pokemon Go, as everything that you're experiencing is an AR. So we're having a lot of fun at the moment building it. It's been very challenging because every Dogami is unique, but every Dogami is in 3D, and we're trying to be respectful of different breeds of dogs that we're working with. So you have to take in consideration the size and the texturing. Everything's done in Unity and engine, and then pulled out so that it can be gamified in an app. So it's been quite a mission, and we're mobile first, so that comes with some implications and some difficulties as well. It's not easy being able to have a blockchain based game on mobile devices today. There's a few things that we have to go around, but it's an exciting journey, and we're very lucky to have secured quite nice funding from big partners like Ubisoft and Animoca Brands, and of course Draper Goren Home. Everyone is being a good and strong advisor and partner. And not too long ago, we took on board Neville Brody, which is an amazing typographer and one of the biggest graphic designers of our generation. He's worked with Dior, he's worked with Coca-Cola, he's worked with Jay-Z and Kanye. I mean, he's absolutely huge, and so he's bringing our branding to the next level. And it's a crazy journey. But it's fun.
Amazing. Yeah, I meant to say at the beginning, another one of those things I forgot to say, just full disclosure, DGH are investors in Dogami. And other than that, on this panel, I do own some Autez, but other than that, no direct affiliation, and I just love Shay. So there we go. So no conflicts other than just love. So I'm excited. So there's so much to sort of unpack there, because it's beyond just a drop, right? But people are talking about it. There is some news of some dates and things like that, right? Because I'm trying to I don't want to say anything I'm not supposed to say, but I know that publicly people are talking on the Discord. You can get whitelisted or on a pre-list. Can you give us some dates and details, just basic ones, and then we'll dive into everything, because I want to hear about Autez also. And
so the whitelist sale goes live on the 22nd, so it's very, very close. And the public sale goes live on the 24th. So it's been a pretty busy few weeks, few months, and we've got a very big roadmap. In terms of the positioning of Dogami, we're really trying to position it as something that's going to be cultural. And for that, we're talking to a lot of different partners, both in the physical and digital space, to either bring brands into Web3 and as well take Dogami outside into the physical world. So being able to create that balance between the both, where it makes sense, obviously. But it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome. I'm so excited, and I would be I would be excited even without DGH having gotten to participate. I'm a big fan of Bilal's, and I've known him for years now, from participating in our events and all that stuff. So I was so excited to have gotten so lucky as to meet you guys before you really started publicly building this and everything. So super excited. And one of the reasons why I'm excited is I'm a huge fan of Tezos. You guys know that. I joked about the first Tezos NFT, but that was the reason I did that, was because I was experimenting with minting NFTs on the command line interface before any of the sites were up. And there was something at the beginning called Open Minter, which was sort of an open source product that allowed people to launch their own NFT sort of galleries, and I used the sort of alpha version of it to mint some NFTs and goof around and all that. And I for many reasons why, you know, I was very intrigued when Stash was teaching us all about wax. I was really intrigued by some of the possibilities on Tezos. And one of the people who did one of the, you know, big successful campaigns on Tezos is Paggy. So Paggy, give us your background. Tell us why Tezos maybe, but then also give us some details about the Auttez community, what you have planned and what you've done so far. And while you do that, I'm going to try to find my Auttez and share a picture of it.
Yeah, sure. Why Tezos? I got involved in Tezos at the ICO, so I've been involved in it for years. Always as a user, I've you know, tweeted about it. I've tried to use it as much as possible. When it first launched, obviously it was quite basic in the beginning. You know, you mentioned Open Minter. Now we've got a lot more platforms coming out, but we launched Auttez on Tezos because we've always used Tezos, myself and the rest of the team, and we wanted to release a PFP, and we're kind of the other end of the spectrum to Dog Army in a way. We're quite a simple project, and we want to be a blue chip NFT. There's no utility to it. We just want an amazing community and an amazing PFP, and we kind of perceived that on the Tezos blockchain there wasn't a PFP project that was really putting itself outside of Tezos. So we went down that route, created something that we hoped people would really enjoy, but set out a very basic roadmap. Like I was reading the white paper that Dog Army released today. Obviously, it's an amazing white paper. It's also, for me, very complex because I'm not necessarily a particularly tech person.
It is for me too.
Yeah, you guys are going, you know, way down the other route. Incredibly amazing project, huge potential, and obviously very complex. Whereas we've gone very simple for now, but we wanted to under-promise, over-deliver. So our roadmap was simple. We're producing a PFP. We hoped everyone would love, and we're using that to try and get the name of Tezos out there and Auttez as well. Obviously, you know, we're building a community. We want to keep it fun. We want to keep building the community, but we do want to showcase Tezos to the rest of the world. And yeah, we've basically been trying to use what we've created to get it out there and promote it. In terms of my background, I mean, I'm not particular, a bit like Kris. I'm not hugely into crypto up until I kind of found Tezos in 2017. Since then, it's been quite an organic process of building up my knowledge around the blockchain. But yeah, since then I've been trying to build a following, obviously networking within the Tezos blockchain and outside as well as much as possible, and now using that to try and build a big community around Auttez. And now we're looking how we can expand the project. So, you know, we've released what we said we would release in terms of a PFP that has been really well received.
I just want to clarify too. We keep saying Auttez, and we should kind of tell people what an Auttez is. They're like these Tezos otters. People in the chat say they look like this. I couldn't pick which one I liked more out of mine, so this was the one that caught my eye the most. But I minted some on the drop, so. They're like otters, right? I say Auttez. Is that the way to say it? Should it be?
Yeah, Auttez. Yeah. So it's a play on otters and Tezos. We kind of chose otters because it was a fun animal. Most people like otters. We've never really met anybody who doesn't like otters. And
I think you got to say it with more swagger. It's otters.
Yeah, it just rolls off. Yeah. But yeah, it lends itself really well as well because we put a little backstory behind it that basically the world ends and otters basically take over where humans left off, and they become human-like and wear clothes and that kind of thing. Just a bit of a fun backstory, but yeah, that's where we created the Auttez, and yeah, Tezos obviously fits with otters quite well, so we went with that name. And yeah, now we're going to see where the project can go, and we had a town hall on Sunday with our community, and we're trying to expand the project in a few different angles.
Oh dang! A few people in the chat are sharing their Auttez, and
very enthusiastic
Vince
community.
just shared his. I don't think I ever saw one with those bunny ears like that. It's freaking awesome. And by the way, the BB Studios crew who's hanging out in the chat said if we're talking Tezos for a minute. we gotta maybe all work together as a community to bring back TZ Colors. I don't know if you guys remember TZ Colors, if you were there
I've
at the
still got
time.
some.
It was awesome, but
Yeah.
we were joking. We spent way too much Tezos on TZ Colors. I'm like a TZ Colors whale. And in hindsight, I must have spent hundreds of Tez on colors.
Right. I've got a whole palette, I think, mainly of greens.
I hope one day that street cred will pay off.
Yeah.
I love it. But Paggy, so you guys did a PFP style drop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, way too much on the TZ Colors. But you did the PFP drop, right? It's kind of similar to other PFPs on other chains and things like that, but it's got some unique Tezos stuff to it. It was obviously people were able to mint without the transaction fees and the craziness of Ethereum and some of the other chains. What do you guys have ideas of what Brian just said everybody drink in the chat, so I'll drink for all of you guys because I haven't seen any in your hands. There we go. Hey. So I'm just wondering, utilizing the fact that you're on a chain. I can tell you, right? Like I shared the CryptoStache Boring Stone guy, right? And Boring Stone is on Ethereum. And every time we think about doing an airdrop to people or doing something, we have to keep in mind the fees that go along with Ethereum. Now you're on Tezos, you have an opportunity to kind of goof around and maybe experiment in a way that would be essentially next to free, right? Versus you have about 1,000 holders, if I remembered correctly, like you guys just shared, right? So dropping something to 1,000 people on Tezos is maybe like $10 worth of Tez, like if that, to do a drop, right? If you did that same drop on Ethereum, it would be thousands of dollars. So do you guys have, what kind of plans, what kind of experiments do you think you might do?
So we've actually already done 2 airdrops because, as you say, it's so cheap. We can quite happily airdrop stuff. So we dropped some heart-shaped glasses that feature on some of the OTEs for Valentine's Day to all of our holders. We airdropped some Twitter banners to certain trait holders, and we're going to work through all the different traits and airdrop artwork that matches certain traits to everybody who owns those traits. And we announced on Sunday that we're going to start doing fusion. So we're going to do a second generation otter where you can take 2 of your otters that you like their particular traits, but you'd rather have certain traits match. You pair them off through an interface and you get a second generation otter. And we are also looking at evolution. Obviously, as you say, our PFP is similar to PFPs on other blockchains, and that was an intentional decision because obviously, we want to appeal to the crowd who like PFPs. So we went down the route of obviously making it an appealing looking PFP. We've looked at other PFP projects out in the space, see what they've done. Obviously, you had Bored Ape Yacht Club did mutations. We want to be quite unique though, so we've come up with what we're calling an evolution. It will be effectively, you will be able to take your otter, submit it into a whatever we decide it is. Obviously, there was a serum for the mutant apes. We'll use something different, but effectively, it will create new artwork for you. And off the back of that, you will effectively get a new NFT. You'll keep your old one as well, but that will be an expansion on that side. And then we're basically talking with our community as well as to where they want to go. So there's the possibility of breeding. So we may have,
hey, what if I bought all of the Ates a premium beverage? I'm using the word premium on purpose because that's one of the Blockchain Boost community members created a company. One of the Blockchain Boost community members owns an award-winning vodka distillery, and through Blockchain Booze we got to meet them and work with them, and there's going to be some very cool premium beverages coming out, and I can't really give too much stuff, but what if I bought every Ates holder a premium vodka or a premium Alon drink, right? Like whatever we want, a blockchain booze drink, some kind of blockchain booze drink that they drink and maybe does something to them or creates a version of them wearing like a blockchain booze t-shirt and hat or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's infinite options.
If the tool set exists, I'll build it all myself. I'll draw it all myself. I'll go rogue. I'll just pull an all-nighter. I'll break shit. It'll be awesome.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. I mean, we want to explore all options.
They're all going to be wearing Dogami hats and blockchain booze t-shirts, and Punk Ape Strong will be in the background playing an offensive song. We're going to tie every single theme that's been created in the last 99 weeks of blockchain booze and put it all onto an Otters.
Slam it onto an Otter. Yeah, let's do it. It'd be great. I mean, we announced
unique auction
rights to everyone to do whatever they want with their otters. So, yeah, you can either take your otter or you can band a bunch of otters together and do what you please with them.
I will say that just throwing it out there, let me actually bring it up. And then I have some thoughts. I want to dive into the P2E games and stuff like that and ask Stash some questions related to that, because I think it's going to be a huge theme, especially with Dogami and other groups. But I wanted to throw something out there. The angle in which the Ottes are facing made it hard for me because I wanted to make a... You've seen the, I think you've seen the videos of Punk Ape Strong, my ape talking or doing something. This guy, oh wait, this is his mutant version. This guy. You've seen him talking and playing songs and goofing around, right? Now, I wanted to make a puppet. I just want to tell the Tezos community, because I've gotten so much shit for not doing it yet. I wanted to make a puppet for these guys, but the angle of them facing too far to the side made it really, really tough. So, if you ever do a full change of what an Ottes looks like, make him face a little more forward. I might be able to make a puppet of him talking and doing something.
I'm sure we could sort a one-off out for you.
Oh, cool. I'm going to have to pick which one is my coolest one, though. It's like, I'll ask my kids. They'll know the right.
Yeah, let us know. We'll sort something out.
Yeah. That'd be awesome. So Kris, I know a big part of Dogami is going to be sort of play to earn. The more you play, the more they evolve. You'll earn potentially other things. Can you tell us a little more about that? And then I want to kind of evolve the discussion into the gaming aspect. And I need to make a bear puppet for my my bear. Also, Andrew in the chat is telling me. So many Tezos NFTs, guys. I'm loving it. But tell me, Kris, more about, because you're on the team. You focus a little more on the IP and branding side, right?
Correct.
So tell me a little more about what you guys plan to evolve into.
If we're talking about the play to earn, maybe I won't be as precise as Bilal would be or Max. But basically, there's one strong factor in terms of the play to earn is the bond that you have with your Dogami. So the stronger you build your bond with your Dogami, the bigger the multiplier you will have in what you'll be able to earn, which essentially is the token that will be emitting, which is the Doga token. But one thing that we're trying to introduce as well inside, which I think is going to be pretty fun, is the move to earn. So just like you would have to walk around with a real dog, walking around with your Dogami and going from one location to another, given the fact that people haven't moved a lot due to COVID, we thought it would be a good way to incentivize people to get out the house as well. So we're integrating the move to earn, in which the more you move, the more you walk your dog, the more you increase the multipliers. But it's the key part is really the relationship that you're going to have with your Dogami. So the more you interact with him, the more you're attentive to his needs, the more you will be earning Doga. And then you have some, let's say, essential and non-essential things that you have to do with your dog, which will also earn you some Doga. And then with the Doga, you'll be able to either buy accessories or access special events, Or one of the most important things is that you will be able to during the breeding season breed your dogami with another dogami. And what's very important is the first generation of dogamis that are going to be minted have a higher breeding rate than the next generations that will be coming out.
So I mean, so it's essentially you're rewarding the people who are participating the most, who are engaging the most, right? So it's not really very passive. Like, so if I go and I mint a bunch of dogs right off the bat, or I buy them on the secondary, whatever I do, I get, you know, dogs at the beginning, but then I just hold them, leave them in my wallet. They'll essentially stay unevolved. I'm not going to earn much.
Correct.
And if Stash is playing every week on his live stream and doing all that, he'll earn a lot more.
He'll be very happy.
Yeah, he'll be happier than I am. So, is there a way to like, what if I'm like going on vacation or something? Can I get a pet sitter? You can,
and I think,
I can delegate my dogs.
Exactly. So you can have dog sitters, and then after, people can rate like you would rate in Uber the dog sitters, so that you know who is a good dog sitter, who is not a good dog sitter, and then you split the revenues between the dog sitter and yourself. So
it's almost like on Tezos. On Tezos, you have bakeries, right? And you can delegate your Tez to a certain bakery. So So we could start, could we start like a DAO that's like dog sitters for dogamy, for people to delegate their dogs to?
I mean,
I'm overthinking it, but hey, we can get really nerdy here.
At the end of the day, there is going to be a DAO, and the DAO is going to act kind of like a town hall. And I think, Paggy, that's what you were saying you're doing with Otis as well, where people from the community are going to be able to share ideas, share how the reward allocation should evolve, implementation of mini games, but at the same time, they'll be able to give feedback on the different kind of opportunities that we're giving in terms of dog sitters and other things like that. So it's clearly something that will evolve through time, and that's what's good with NFT projects and play to earn projects, is that basically you're kind of putting something on the market. And once the community comes in, you're slowly giving the control to the community. So we're starting off with this type of concept, and we'll let the community drive it towards, in a healthy manner, drive it towards something that makes sense for them and keeps them engaged and keeps them happy. I think that's the most essential thing.
That's really fun. I think it's going to be so much fun. I can just creating, like, talking about this, I'm seeing jokes in the chat, but all these things are real things that could happen, right? Because it's virtual, somebody said, stray dogamies. And then somebody said, if you don't, will there be, rogue breedings? Can they get lost if you don't, can they go to the pound? And somebody said, call the dogamy catcher. So all these things are, gamifiable, things. It's like the Tamagotchis, but on steroids in a whole new world. It's pretty great. Stash, I know that I think I learned about Gods Unchained from you, and then then things like Splinterlands became popular, and all these games, and but so much more about this stuff. You've participated and sort of reported on it and taught and educated everyone about it for so long. What have you seen, or what trends are coming up in the play to earn world, or what? Yeah, I think I'm where I'm going is kind of like, what's been the coolest stuff you've seen, and what do you think are the best sort of models? Like, what's the most exciting stuff happening in that world right now?
Yeah, just to kind of jump back to Dogamy and what you're doing there, I think one of the big things that we're seeing this is something that, we've seen with Axie Infinity, but has been furthered with other games out there now, is the kind of scholarship model, where you have people who don't necessarily own the NFTs, but if they want to put in the work to do the play to earn elements of it, they can essentially be delegated that, and then they get automatically a portion of whatever rewards they are. So, right now, Peggy is one of the more popular ones, which is a kind of horse racing type of game. And they have that all built into their ecosystem, which I think is really cool. And it's all done automatically. It makes it really easy to be able to do those kinds of things and delegate some of your workload if you want to share some rewards with other people. There's people who may have a massive stable of these things. Like, think about if you had like 100 Dogami and you can't like physically do all of them in one day, take care of all of them. You could delegate them out to some pet sitters, and they can help you out with that. And so you'd be getting a little cut of that as well as they would. So I love that trend in gaming in general. I think that what we see in play to earn is still we're in that discovery phase. What works? What doesn't work? I think that there's a lot of great ideas out there, and I don't know that we've like really narrowed down and said, okay, this thing, this method, this works perfectly. I think what we see is a lot of 2-token economy systems that seem to be kind of very popular, where you have like an in-game utility token, and then you have like your governance token, and they're kind of separated. And, that helps with, a regulation, but also being able to manage different token prices, across different networks. I think one of the big things that I'm looking forward to here as a trend in the next year or so is really interoperability. Not only is that really a roadblock for the entire crypto industry, but it's also a pretty big one for NFTs. And that's one of the reasons where I really love what Engine was doing early on, is they were trying to create this, multiverse of games that have interoperable items, or have the option to have some interoperable items. And I think that's a really big advantage of NFTs and play to earn gaming using blockchain technology. So I really want to see more of that. And we see a little bit of it, right? You were talking about a little bit of that earlier. How we're like, hey, well, what if we did this? And kind of, I brought an NFT with this, and then you used it with your autos, and then you could, do something cool with them, and it changes the way they look. And, I think that we'll see more and more of that happening. Wax in general does a really great job of that. I think people really don't value the ecosystem as much as they should, because it's very well developed, and we see a lot of those cool things already coming there. But I want to see them more on some of these other chains too, up and coming chains like Tezos, like Solana, some other ones out there, Cardano. And I think we're going to get there, but I think that, right now we're still in that kind of discovery phase. So,
I think we're closer than what you think, because I heard a little bit of talk, and there's bridges being built. There's things put into play.
The interoperability is coming. It's definitely something we're working on, I think, as an entire industry. But like I said, it makes it infinitely more complicated, right? So right now, these in-game tokenized economies are still pretty hard to manage, even as a siloed economy. We're seeing games that didn't get the math right, didn't get the playability right, and then they end up tanking, even if they have millions of players. And so, we're seeing that with Axie Infinity has had a lot of problems. Them being one of the number one games, they had a lot of problems with their economy. And they still kind of do. They're making steps to change that. But then you think about opening that up to a cross-chain economy, and then how much more complex does that make it? So whereas the technology may be there, I think the complexity of a cross-chain economy makes it a little bit harder. Now with like EVM compatible chains, you're like, oh, we're on Polygon or we're on BSC, and like, well, you're not really cross-chain technically, but we're really talking about cross-chain when you're talking about having something be compatible through Tezos, through Cardano, through Wax, and through Ethereum, and it works seamlessly across all these things. I think we're quite a ways out for games to be able to do something like that, but I do feel like that is a pretty big future there with gaming in general.
You'll probably see a few games have to probably go down that route and fail to then have the ones get to the point where they can do the interoperability. But it's definitely where we're going. But I think
I think there's like
it might take a while.
I think there's like some basic stuff. Like what's really cool is like Rarible, for example, doing the Tezos stuff. Is opens up a whole new thing. And I don't know yet if they have a great way to connect, I think that the next step is that wallet providers or right, like are interoperable, so that, because now I could create something where like you can get into a website or my app if you have my my Decentraland wearable hat that I sent everyone, right? I sent all the people in the Boring Stone in the Boring Stone and Blockchain Boost community these Punk Ape Strong hats, right? If you have that hat, I could let you into a website where you mint a Tezos NFT, right? But there isn't like one central wallet where you'll see the hat and the Tezos NFT. And I can also do the opposite and go, oh, if you own a Tezos NFT, I'm going to let you into this secret club to mint this game on this other blockchain, this other place. But again, there is no wallet that holds them both unless you're in that one singular place. And what you kind of want is, I don't know, in the DeFi crypto token space, I've used Zerion for years, and I'm a huge fan of theirs. Don't own a bit of their company. I have no connection to them or anything like that. But I just love the product because I can go to one single place and see all my tokens, see all my NFTs, see different things like that. But they choose which blockchains they want to support, and it's easier for them to support EVM, right? But like, I still, one of my reasons, like, I own a bazillion wax NFTs, mostly, Ken Bozak's Brozacs or whatever they were called, the Bros or whatever. I forgot what they were called. But then they airdropped me like a million more packs of cards. I didn't even open half the packs because it's on a different blockchain. If it was on Tezos or Ethereum, where I spend most of my time, I would have opened them all, right? And I would have played around with them. And they're sitting there and it's cool. But that's the problem, is like you have to consciously go to the other blockchain's wallet and place. But eventually, in my ideal world, I go to one sort of Zerion-like product or one central product where I connect my Wax wallet, I connect my Ethereum wallet, I connect my Tezos wallet, and I can see it all in one place. And the products that are building on any of those chains could also be interoperable across them, because then their users would also be seeing similar style interfaces.
Right. Like you have a Tezos NFT, but you want to cash it out or sell it on an Ethereum marketplace. Yeah. And that, I think that's kind of the beginning of that interoperability kind of, cross-chain type of stuff. And then, getting to the point where things are super fluid, which is obviously what we're trying to work towards, I think, is that everything is just, you could pass between any blockchain, no problem, no worries, and just kind of convert it to the currency or whatever you want. But when we're starting to see early aspects of it, like Efinity from Engine is doing something like that too, where you'll be able to use their system to bid or essentially acquire NFTs on other platforms. So it's coming, but it's a slow moving thing, And I think in gaming in particular, it's even harder because of the game development cycle length for these more complex games. They're in development cycles of 2, 3, 5+ years, depending on what kind of game it is. And so technology moves so fast. That's why we tend to see kind of simpler games on blockchain right now, because it's hard to keep up with that, with what's going on, how quickly things move in crypto, but how slow game development actually is. And so there's that kind of disparity there between those types of things. And so I don't know. I think that we're moving there. I think a lot of companies are taking it slow, which is great. I applaud that approach. Is first you can use an NFT to kind of just gate access to a beta and say, hey, if you have this NFT, you get access to this beta. And then you move into, okay, well, now it's playable. We have a community that's playing this, and then you're actually rewarding tokens that can be exchanged, for some real world value. But like I said, that's a tricky balance, in particular at scale. A lot of things work really great in a play to earn economy at a smaller scale, but then when you hit 1 million+ players, that kind of changes the game. So, so I like I said, we're still pretty early on with this, and a lot of game theory and how it really works the best. I mean, we've had game tokenized economies for a long time. I mean, I was selling gold for Ultima Online in the late 1990s, early 2000s. And that was against their toss, and I was doing it on eBay. And hey, I mean, I wasn't making a career out of it, but there were people that were. And then World of Warcraft follows shortly after, and that was a huge a huge thing where you have people farming gold and selling it. So like the idea of this has been around for a long time. It just hasn't been legitimatized. And that's why I always laugh at people who or people in the gaming industry who talk about like, well, NFTs have they're a solution without a problem. And these things are not, and like there's so many solutions that are solved by NFTs. It's ridiculous that the short-sighted people cannot see the benefits that come from a tokenized economy that's on a blockchain and then includes NFTs. Not every game needs it, but any multiplayer game I think definitely benefits from it. So
I think that's like the knee-jerk reaction to all new things, right? Like I was, throwing back those dates at the time that you're talking about. Well, actually slightly later, I got a job at MySpace, right? They could think about back then, but people were talking about social media as if it was a total joke and there was no chance people were going to hang out with each other on the internet. And it was all still, even after MySpace was bought by Fox, people were talking about it like it's still a fad. Like, oh, this thing, AOL Instant Messenger and ICQ and messaging people on the internet, that's not going to last forever. People are going to need to hang out in real life. Like, this is bullshit.
ICQ was GOAT, man.
That is. It was.
It almost proves that it's going in the right direction, though, because you need that reaction, because people don't like change, and it shows that everything is going in the right direction because you're getting that reaction.
Yeah.
Because as you said, I've never understood the argument why you wouldn't want to own an asset in a game that you're playing. You own that asset rather than having somebody else own it who could at any moment take it away from you. So it does solve a problem.
Yeah, it solves so many problems, and even if it didn't solve a problem, like the least exciting projects, right, at worst you could say are just digitizing something that's normally physical. And then if you think about it and you go like, oh, those are just Pokemon cards on the internet, those are just comic books on the internet, those are just baseball cards on the internet. Well, that is something that's fucking epic. Like, if you ask my kid whether he wants a real Pokemon card or the one that lives in his iPad, he would choose the one that lives in an iPad, like almost every single time, right? So we just have this bias of being old people compared to them that look at that and go like, oh, the digital thing is neat, but it's not as cool as the real thing. But at a certain point, it becomes more real than the real thing to people who are digital natives that have grown up their whole life playing games and playing Roblox and doing all the different things like that. And those are the worst of them. But like, the worst use case is like, oh, so you're taking something that's physical and not just expensive to make in real life, bad for the environment to make in real life, and hard to transfer in real life and hard to ship in real life, and making it borderless and global and easy to transfer and easy to send to people. It's like it literally, you can go back to social media and go like, wait, so I can communicate with everyone in the world equally and easily and not have to pay multiple dollars a minute to make an international phone call. like that was stupid to people at the beginning. Who cares? We already have telephones. Why do we need voice over IP? Like, because it's not fair, because it's more efficient and it's right? Like, that's exactly what this is doing. And that's the worst thing you could say about it, which that alone makes it worth orders of magnitude more than the original non-digital versions of them. It's just silly and crazy. So sorry, I got excited. But
no, but it's so true. And you see,
before we went live, we were talking about snowboarding, and we thought that would take up the whole conversation. So at least I kept it on track most of the time. I want to throw this up one more time before we get to the end, where I let you guys plug and we try to wrap things up. If you're watching on one of the streams, and I know there's a lot of you, go to meet.blockchainbooze.io. If you're in meet.blockchainbooze.io, throw some questions in the QA. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going and just ask everyone to give their last plugs. But when we're done, if you come here and you're live, then you can turn on your camera, turn on your mic, and hang out with some of the crew if you'd like. And some of us stay up late. Some of us sneak off and have dinner with the family. And some of us come back online after. It's really fun. It's a good crew. And I will say that after 99 weeks of doing this, I've met people, started projects with these people, joking around about Punk Ape Strong and Boring Stone and all of this fun stuff. Punk Ape Strong did not exist 99 weeks ago, and he exists mostly because of the conversations that were had here. I've invested in companies because I met them here. We've created companies, and not ones that I've been involved with. Other members of the community have met each other and created companies during the chats here. So come hang out if you got a minute and have some fun, create something and be a part of it. But guys, I want to give everyone at least one last chance to give their most important plugs. I'll start. I'll just go in order on the top this time and go the other direction. So, Kris, you said the 22nd. That's a week from today. You're doing a drop.
Correct.
So give us a little more details. Where does everyone go? I guess that's the most important thing. What's the one place you want everyone to go to learn about Dogami? Or
I think
Dogami?
the best place to go is to go on Dogami's Discord. Most of the details are there. We have a great team that works day and night to answer all your questions. The 22nd is the date of our first drop. We're going to be releasing the first breeds of Dogamis. We're working on 300 plus breeds of Dogami that will come in the coming years. Yeah, I mean, if anything, I think Discord is the easiest. Otherwise, Twitter is great as well. For any information on the roadmap, you're happy to jump onto our website. We just released the white paper today that will answer questions that are way too smart for me to answer. So you're happy to go on there and check it out.
Yeah, that might be an all-night review for me tonight too. I'm excited to go through it. Awesome. Thank you. So Paggy, where do we follow you on Twitter directly, but then also where do we catch up on all things? What did we say? We should say otters, like you're saying, like you're a New Yorker saying otter, right? Like I just bought me some otters, man.
Exactly. You can find us at Otters NFT. So that's our Twitter handle. That's where we announce a lot of stuff. And then our Discord, which is in our bio there. We announce, we've got a really great community. Everybody's chatting away. It's one of the most active Discord other than probably Dogami, which is insane when you go on there sometimes. But yeah, our Discord is really active and the community is amazing. And if anybody wants to jump on and have a chat, either one of us mods will be on there or somebody in the community. And we've also created Alon and CryptoStache. We've created personalized otters for you, which I'll DM you afterwards. And Kris, we created a Dogami otter, which we'd like to give to all of the Dogami guys. So I'll DM you as well.
Amazing.
So cool.
If you want it, you
pretty
can have
cool.
it on it. It's fine.
You know
but
what?
I'll DM you with the artwork and then we can mint it and send it across.
Paggy, you're awesome, man.
I'm gonna email with. I want to know on the on. This is a question I had and I totally forgot to ask on the otters and on the otters. Do we own the IP rights to make our own derivatives of our guys? So I could take one and make like a different version of one of my people, or give them a Blockchain Boost shirt or whatever.
Yeah. We announced on Sunday. We put a statement out. So yeah, you've got the IP rights to do whatever you want. Obviously, if you do anything with it, then you need to work out the legal ramifications of that. But yeah, it's yours to do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sell them or do anything, but I will make. I think I'm gonna make that one holding the premium beverage, wearing like a Dogami hat, wearing a Blockchain Booze T-shirt or something, and I'll try to do it. Yeah. So one thing I was gonna say before we get the CryptoStache plugs as well. I'm just looking at the chat. A bunch of people are talking about it, and I think it's tomorrow is the Rocket Monsters drop on Tezos. So just people, if you're into it, I'm a huge fan of Rocket Monsters, and they're minting on Calamint, which is cool. I think it's like, if I understand correctly, it's the first time that
first generative drop on Calamint.
Yeah, first generative. See, exactly. And that's what I actually love about Tezos, is the community is a legit community. There's love, there's some arguments, but it's all good vibes, and everyone does really support each other. And
yeah, it's been amazing.
It's really, really cool. So first generative drop on Calamint, and and a whole new collectibles contract that they're they're going all in on. So that'll be a fun thing to play with and learn about. And I agree with Altcoin Accelerator. 4 out of 4 stashes tonight, facial hair win. But we're all put to shame by the real CryptoStache mustache. I think you guys.
You got to have something to aspire to. I'm on that pedestal that people aspire to. So yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the stash, and every once in a while, I get in trouble with my daughter if I shave and I don't at least for a day or two have some funny, thing in her mind. So sometimes I'll go Abraham Lincoln, or sometimes if it's long enough, I try to get, to get at least, half as cool of a mustache as Shay, but just I've never committed fully. That's
sure you haven't, man. I've tried to push a couple times, but one of these days when I
let it really go and then I make the mustache, then I won't have the weird in between phase, because I just look
it's the in between phase.
Yeah. So but really important stuff here. So guys, Shay, actually, one last plug. Give everyone the specifics at CryptoStache, right?
Yeah. You can follow me pretty much anywhere at CryptoStache. So on Twitter, on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, all those places you can find me there. Like, I'm doing a video and a live stream almost every single day, dropping the best NFT and play to earn gaming alpha that you find out there. Some of the most entertaining shows too. Secret Agent Stash on Thursday. It's a lot of fun, especially if you're new to play to earn gaming. We kind of go over the basics and all that jazz. And look for a sandbox game coming in the next couple of months too. So
that's pretty awesome. That's really awesome. All right, everyone. If you're online, hop to meet.blockchainbooze.io if you're watching us live. And I will say, next week is the 100th episode. We're going to ask community members to hop on stage. Anybody who's been around, we're going to kind of party it up on the stage, have a little fun, do some things. We'll probably be talking about the Dogami drop, because that's the same day. And somebody in the chat just mentioned that it's 2/22/2022, which
wow,
I feel means something. That's a lot of twos. So, there's
it's fortuitous.
What was that?
It's fortuitous, 2 2 2 2.
Fortuitous. That's right. That's going to be my joke for the next week with my kids and everyone. Love it. Everyone, thank you for joining. Thanks, Shay, for coming back on. I appreciate you. Paggy, Kris, thank you for joining us for your first time. I know it's not going to be the last, and I'm excited to have you all. Thank you, and see you all next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.